Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive.
This time we're exploring the world of digital detoxing.
Ooh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I think it's something we can all relate to in this day and age.
Right?
So we're diving deep into this book,
Yep.
all about reclaiming our focus, in this crazy tech-saturated world we live in.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, so let's jump right in.
I think the first thing we need to understand is how technology has created this thing called the attention economy.
Attention economy.
Yeah, like a battle for our brains.
Okay,
Mhm.
I'm listening.
So basically, it's like companies are constantly fighting for every second of our attention.
That makes sense.
Right, it's like they're using every trick in the book to keep us glued to their platforms and their apps.
Yeah, I could definitely see that.
The book explains how platforms like, your big social media giants, they use these sophisticated algorithms and personalized content to keep us hooked.
I mean, yeah, those algorithms are really good at figuring out what we like.
Right. It's not just about showing us interesting stuff, it's about understanding our psychology.
Wow.
Like they've figured out how to hack our brain's reward centers.
So it's like they're manipulating us.
In a way, yeah. I mean, think about those infinite scrolling feeds on social media.
Oh, yeah?
They're designed to keep you engaged, to make you crave that next hit of information or that next like or comment.
It's true. I can never just check one thing.
Right, and then there are the notifications.
Ugh, don't even get me started.
I know, right? It's like they're designed to trigger FOMO, that fear of missing out,
Totally.
making us feel like we need to be constantly connected, always checking our devices.
But we're addicted.
Exactly, and the book even highlights how our attention spans are actually shrinking in this digital age.
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of unsettling when you think about it.
I guess it makes sense with all the information overload.
Right, like our brains actually changing because of technology?
I think there's definitely some evidence to suggest that.
So we're trading convenience for our cognitive abilities. That's a scary thought.
So this brings us to a crucial question. What is all this connectivity costing us?
Yeah, what's the price we're paying for being constantly plugged in?
Well, the book dives deep into this in chapter 2.
Okay.
It outlines the numerous costs of constant connectivity.
And it's not just about, losing a few minutes here and there.
Right.
It's about the potential impact on our mental health, our physical health, and even our social well-being.
I see.
The book mentions a whole bunch of negative impacts. Increased stress.
Anxiety, even depression. Not to mention sleep disruption, eye strain, and impaired cognitive function.
That's a lot.
It's like we're slowly sacrificing our health for the sake of staying connected.
And what about our social lives?
Right. The book also talks about how technology can lead to a decline in face-to-face interactions and a sense of isolation.
That makes sense.
Even though we're more connected online, we might actually be less connected in real life.
Because we're trading real connection for digital validation. Exactly, and here's another thing. The book explains how blue light from our devices can actually disrupt our sleep patterns.
Oh yeah, I've definitely experienced that.
Me too. It's not just a feeling either.
There's actually a scientific explanation for it.
Really?
Yeah, blue light suppresses the production of melatonin, which is a hormone that regulates our sleep-wake cycle. And, our devices emit a ton of blue light, especially at night.
Makes sense.
So it's basically tricking our brains into thinking it's still daytime.
So we're messing with our natural rhythms.
Exactly. No wonder so many of us have trouble sleeping.
So it seems like we need to find a way to hit the reset button on our relationship with technology.
I agree.
And that's where the concept of a digital detox comes in.
A digital detox.
Yeah, and don't worry, it's not about, throwing your phone in the ocean and living off the grid.
Okay.
It's more about taking intentional breaks from technology to recalibrate and reconnect with ourselves.
So, like a tech break.
Exactly. The book defines it as a period of time when you significantly reduce or eliminate your use of digital devices to improve your well-being.
I like that.
Yeah, it's like giving your brain a vacation from all the constant simulation.
Sounds refreshing.
Right. And the book goes into specific strategies for designing your own digital detox plan.
Ooh, I want to hear about those.
Let's dive into those in the next part.
Okay, I'm ready.
We'll figure out how to reclaim our time and attention.
Stay tuned.
All right, so we're back and ready to dive into those digital detox strategies.
Yeah, let's do it.
So the book really emphasizes the importance of setting clear goals
Okay.
for your detox.
It's not just about mindlessly disconnecting.
Right.
You need to have a clear intention.
What are you hoping to achieve? More focus, less stress, better sleep.
I think for me, it would be better sleep.
Yeah.
That's a common one.
And the book also talks about choosing a duration that works for you.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be this grand sweeping gesture.
You start small.
Maybe a few hours a day, or even just one tech-free evening a week.
I could probably manage that.
Right. The key is to find a rhythm that feels sustainable for you.
Makes sense.
It's like any lifestyle change.
You want to ease into it.
Make it part of your routine.
Yeah, not just a one-time thing.
Exactly. And speaking of routines, the book also stresses the importance of identifying your triggers.
My triggers.
Yeah, those situations or emotions that make you instinctively reach for your phone.
Oh, like when I'm bored.
Yeah, exactly. Or stressed.
Or waiting in line.
Yes. It's almost like an automatic reflex.
It's true. I don't even realize I'm doing it half the time.
Right. But once you're aware of those triggers...
You can start to develop strategies to manage them.
Okay, so what can I do?
Well, for boredom, maybe it's keeping a book handy.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Or for stress, maybe it's practicing a quick mindfulness exercise.
I've heard of those.
The key is to replace that mindless scrolling with something more fulfilling.
Something that actually makes me feel good.
Exactly. And the book also reminds us that,
It's okay to have setbacks along the way.
Oh, good.
It's not about being perfect. Right.
Well,
it's
yeah.
about progress.
Not perfection.
I like that.
And you don't have to go it alone either.
The book suggests finding a support system.
Okay.
Maybe friends or family who are also interested in reducing their tech use.
So like a digital detox buddy.
Exactly. It's always easier to make a change when you have people cheering you on.
That's true.
And here's a thought.
Ironically, technology can actually help us with our digital detox.
Wait, what?
Yeah. The book mentions using apps or browser extensions to block distracting websites.
Yeah.
Or limit our time on social media.
So it's like using technology to fight technology.
Exactly. Those tools can be super helpful in creating boundaries and sticking to your goals.
I might have to try that.
But let's move beyond the detox itself for a minute.
Okay.
How do we make these changes stick for the long haul?
Yeah, that's the real challenge.
How do we shift from just detoxing
to building a healthier, more sustainable relationship with technology? Well, Chapter 4 dives into exactly that.
It's all about reclaiming our time and attention.
I'm all ears.
And it offers a bunch of time management techniques,
Okay.
specifically designed for our digital age.
Like what?
Well, one technique that stands out is called time blocking.
Time blocking?
Yeah, you heard of it.
I think so, but remind me.
So basically, it's about intentionally scheduling.
Specific blocks of time for different tasks or activities throughout your day?
So instead of just letting the day run away from me,
Exactly.
instead of constantly switching between emails and social media and work tasks,
You create a more structured schedule.
so I'm in control.
Yes, you're taking control of your time and attention instead of letting technology dictate your schedule.
I like that.
Right. And the book also mentions the Pomodoro technique.
Pomodoro.
Yeah, like the tomato.
Oh, right. I've heard that.
Have you ever tried it?
I haven't, but I'm curious.
It's a really simple but effective technique.
It involves working in focused 25-minute intervals.
Followed by a short 5-minute break.
Sounds manageable.
Right. And then after 4 Pomodoros,
You take a longer break of 15-20 minutes.
so you're basically building in mini breaks.
Exactly, to prevent mental fatigue and maintain focus.
I could definitely use some of that.
I think it's especially helpful for our listener, the learner.
Who's all about absorbing information in digestible chunks.
Right.
But even with these techniques, it's easy to get overwhelmed.
By the sheer volume of tasks and information we face every day.
It never ends.
I know, and that's where the book's emphasis on prioritization comes in.
Prioritization.
It suggests using tools like the Eisenhower matrix.
The what?
The Eisenhower matrix.
Okay, I'm listening.
It helps you categorize tasks based on urgency and importance.
So like a to-do list on steroids.
Sort of. It's like a simple grid with 4 quadrants.
Okay.
Urgent and important.
Urgent but not important.
Important but not urgent.
And neither urgent nor important.
So you're basically deciding what to focus on first. Exactly. You're making conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy.
Aligning your actions with your priorities.
Yeah, makes sense.
And the book also highlights the power of batching similar tasks together.
Batching.
Yeah. So instead of constantly switching gears, you group similar tasks and tackle them all at once.
Oh, so like instead of checking email all day long?
Right. You designate a specific time block for processing all your emails.
That would definitely save me some time.
It's about creating dedicated time for those essential but often draining tasks.
Preventing them from bleeding into every part of your day.
I like that.
But let's move beyond the purely practical aspects of time management for a sec.
Okay.
The book also explores the role of mindfulness and meditation in reclaiming our attention.
Mindfulness and meditation.
Yeah, it's a fascinating connection.
I've never really thought about it that way.
So the book explains how mindfulness practices can actually train our brains to resist distractions
Really?
and strengthen our ability to focus.
So it's like building a mental muscle for attention.
Exactly. I'm all for that.
Me too.
Can you walk us through a simple mindfulness exercise
Sure.
that our listener can try right now?
Okay, so find a comfortable position
Close your eyes if you'd like.
and bring your attention to your breath.
Just notice the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body.
Don't try to change it, just observe it.
You might notice your mind wandering.
And that's perfectly normal.
Just gently guide your attention back to your breath.
Do this for a few minutes.
And you'll be amazed at how much calmer and more centered you feel.
Wow, I actually feel more relaxed already.
I'm definitely adding that to my daily routine.
The book also mentions creating a distraction-free workspace.
Oh yeah, that's important.
Any tips on how to achieve that?
Well, it can be as simple as decluttering your desk
Minimizing noise.
and creating a comfortable and inviting space that promotes focus.
That sounds nice.
But for those who need a little extra help,
Consider using those technology blocking apps or browser extensions we talked about. They can help you restrict access to certain websites or apps during specific times.
removing those digital temptations
It's like creating a virtual boundary.
between your work time and your leisure time.
Exactly.
But sometimes we need more than just time management techniques and a quiet workspace.
I know what you mean.
There's some deeper, less obvious things.
They can help us reclaim our attention, right?
You're reading my mind.
Chapter 5 is all about those lesser known but incredibly impactful tips for digital detoxing.
Ooh, I'm intrigued.
This is where the book truly shines
It challenges us to think outside the box.
and explore alternative ways to engage our minds and bodies.
Okay, let's unlock those hidden gems.
What's the first one?
Well, the book emphasizes the power of analog activities.
Analog activities.
Yeah, you know those hobbies and pursuits that don't involve screens?
Oh, like reading,
Exactly, or writing.
drawing, painting.
Yes, playing music gardening.
Anything that engages different parts of your brain and gets you away from the digital world.
I love that.
It's like rediscovering the joy of doing things with our hands and minds.
Without the constant digital input.
Right.
What else does the book suggest?
Spending time in nature is another big one.
Being in nature.
Yeah, the book talks about how being outdoors can reduce stress.
Boost our mood and even spark creativity.
Oh, that's perfect for our learner persona.
They're always seeking new creative inspiration.
It's like hitting the reset button on our entire system.
I totally agree. I always feel so much more refreshed and energized after spending time in nature.
Me too.
It's like a natural antidote to the digital overload we experience every day.
And don't forget about social connection.
Real-world interaction.
Oh, right.
While technology makes it easy to stay connected online.
It can also lead to a decline in face-to-face time with the people who matter most.
That's so true.
There's simply no substitute for genuine human connection.
And speaking of substitutes,
The book actually advocates for the power of something we often try to avoid.
was that
Boredom.
boredom?
Yeah, I know it sounds counterintuitive,
But the book argues that boredom is not the enemy.
but rather a hidden superpower.
Boredom as a superpower.
Exactly, how so?
Oh, it's a chance for our minds to wander,
To make new connections.
to come up with fresh ideas.
When we're constantly stimulated by technology.
We rarely give our minds the space they need to be creative and innovative.
That's a really interesting perspective.
It's like we've become so accustomed to constant stimulation,
That we've forgotten how to just be.
to let our minds wander freely.
I like that.
The book also touches on digital minimalism.
Digital minimalism.
What exactly is that?
Well, it's about intentionally simplifying your digital life.
Okay.
It's about identifying the essential digital tools and services
That truly add value to your life.
and getting rid of the rest.
So it's like decluttering your digital space,
Exactly.
just as you would declutter your physical space.
I can definitely relate to that.
It's about being intentional with our technology use.
Instead of letting it consume us,
Makes sense.
what other gems does the book offer?
It emphasizes the importance of setting boundaries.
And establishing digital etiquette.
Digital etiquette.
Yeah, like setting specific times for checking emails or social media,
Okay.
creating tech-free zones in your home.
Or simply being more present and mindful during social interactions.
Those are all great ideas.
It's about creating a healthier balance between our digital lives and our real lives.
Right?
And the book also reminds us
That none of this is possible without self-discipline and willpower.
That's the hard part.
I know, right? We have to actively choose to resist
And
distractions.
focus on the things that align with our values and goals.
Oh, true.
And the book also encourages us to explore the idea of digital Sabbaths.
Digital Sabbaths?
Hey, taking regular breaks from technology.
To recharge and reconnect with ourselves.
I like that.
It's like giving ourselves permission to unplug,
And just be
step away from the digital world.
and rediscover the beauty of the present moment.
It's about recognizing that our well-being is not dependent on being constantly connected.
Exactly. Yeah, those digital Sabbaths sound like they could be really powerful. Just a chance to truly disconnect and recharge.
Absolutely. It's like hitting the reset button
Right.
for our minds and our bodies.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into digital detoxing,
What are some of the key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with?
well, I think the biggest takeaway is that we have more agency than we realize. We often feel like we're at the mercy of technology, but the truth is we have the power to choose how we engage with it. We can step out of that attention economy
Reclaim our time and attention.
and create a more balanced and healthier relationship with technology.
Yeah, it's about being intentional with our choices
Setting boundaries.
and prioritizing the things that truly matter.
Exactly.
And we can all benefit from, taking a step back.
And honestly, evaluating how technology is impacting our lives.
Right, both the good and the bad.
And it's not about becoming anti-technology.
Or rejecting the undeniable benefits that technology offers.
Of course not.
It's about using technology in a way that serves us.
Rather than the other way around.
Right, it's about being the master of our digital tools, not the slave.
I love that. So I always like to end our deep dives.
With a thought-provoking question or challenge
Okay.
for our listeners, something to ponder as they continue their journey of exploration.
Sounds good.
So what's something they can reflect on based on what we've discussed today?
How about this? If you could reclaim just 1 hour of your day from technology, what would you do with that extra time?
Oh, I like that.
What activities bring you joy?
Spark your curiosity or nourish your soul?
What have you been putting off that you could finally make time for?
That's such a great question.
It really gets to the heart of what we've been talking about today.
Right?
It's about rediscovering those things that truly matter to us,
Those activities that make us feel alive and connected.
to ourselves and to the world around us.
And remember, even small changes can make a big difference.
You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight.
Right.
Just start with one small step today.
One intentional choice to disconnect.
Or engage in a tech-free activity
You might be amazed at the positive ripple effects it creates.
in your life.
That's a beautiful thought to end on.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into digital detoxing.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you.
Until next time, stay curious.
Stay mindful and keep learning.
And remember, the power to reclaim your attention is in your hands.